that saved Sparta. The Battle of Mantinea, 418 BC, had barely risen over the plains of Mantinea. A cool morning breeze drifted across the fields. It would not last. Before the day was over, the ground would be soaked with blood. Thousands of bronze shields would collide. Hundreds of warriors would never leave the battlefield, and the future of Sparta would hang by a single moment. Across the open plain stood two armies unlike anything Greece had seen in years. On one side, Sparta, its warriors dressed in crimson cloaks, their polished bronze helmets hid every trace of fear. Each carried the heavy round shield that had become the symbol of Spartan discipline. Each held a spear nearly 3 meters long. Each had spent a lifetime preparing for this very day. Opposite them stood a powerful alliance: Argos, Mantinea, Athens, Elis. Their combined forces believed Sparta's time had finally come to an end. For years, they had watched Sparta struggle. Now they had gathered enough men to crush the greatest military state in Greece forever. Neither army intended to retreat. King Agis II rode slowly along the Spartan line. He knew every man watching him expected perfection. A single mistake could destroy Sparta's reputation forever. The Spartans lowered their helmets. Officers shouted final commands. Then something unusual happened. Instead of charging wildly into battle, music filled the air. The haunting sound of Spartan flutes echoed across the battlefield. To outsiders, it seemed impossible. Why would soldiers march toward death accompanied by music? But the flutes served a purpose. They kept every warrior moving in perfect rhythm. Shield beside shield, spear beside spear. No gaps, no panic, no disorder. The Spartan phalanx advanced like a moving wall of bronze. Across the field, the allied army responded. Thousands of hoplites marched forward. The earth trembled beneath their footsteps. Dust rose into the morning sky. The distance between the armies grew smaller. 100 meters. 50. 20. Then the silence disappeared. Bronze smashed against bronze. Spears splintered on shields. The crash echoed across the plain like thunder. The first line of soldiers fought almost shoulder to shoulder. There was little room to swing a sword. Victory depended upon discipline. Every man relied on the warrior beside him. If one shield moved, the entire line became vulnerable. For several minutes, neither side gave ground. The pressure became unbearable. Warriors pushed with every ounce of strength they possessed. Men slipped on blood-soaked earth. Broken spears littered the battlefield. The wounded cried out beneath advancing feet. Then something unexpected happened. The Spartan right wing surged forward with tremendous force. Years of relentless training began to show. The discipline of Spartan soldiers exceeded that of nearly every army in Greece. Their line remained solid. Their shields never broke formation. Slowly, the Allied left wing began to collapse, but victory was still far from certain. On the opposite side of the battlefield, the Spartan left encountered serious trouble. The Athenians and Mantineans pressed hard. For a brief moment, it appeared Sparta itself might be surrounded. King Agis immediately recognized the danger. He issued one of the boldest orders of the battle. He commanded part of his victorious right wing to leave its position, turn, and reinforce the struggling left. It was an incredibly risky maneuver. Moving troops during the middle of a battle often created deadly gaps. Many commanders would never have attempted it. Some Spartan officers hesitated. Others misunderstood the order. Confusion spread through the ranks. For a few terrifying moments, the Spartan line became dangerously exposed. The Allied commanders saw the opportunity. If they attacked immediately, they might split the Spartan army in two, but hesitation proved costly. Instead of exploiting the opening, the Allied forces delayed. That single hesitation changed everything. The Spartan veterans quickly restored their formation. Fresh warriors slammed into the advancing Athenians. The balance of the battle shifted almost instantly. The disciplined Spartan charge struck with enormous force. The Allied line began to buckle. Then it broke, one section after another. The coalition army started falling back. Soon retreat turned into panic. Soldiers abandoned broken spears. Some threw away heavy shields to run faster. Officers shouted desperately for men to hold their ground. Few listened. The Spartan army pressed forward relentlessly. Yet, unlike many victorious armies, they did not recklessly pursue fleeing enemies for miles. Discipline remained absolute. Their objective had never been slaughter. It had been victory. As the dust settled, the battlefield revealed the cost of the fighting. Hundreds of bodies lay scattered across the plain, broken shields, shattered helmets, discarded weapons. Marked where some of Greece's finest warriors had made their last stand, the alliance had suffered a devastating defeat. Argos had failed, Athens had failed, Mantinea had failed, Sparta had survived. More than survived, its reputation had been restored. For years, enemies had whispered that Sparta was weakening. Those whispers ended at Mantinea. News of the victory spread rapidly across Greece. City after city recognized that the Spartan army remained the greatest land force in the Greek world. Many who had considered rebellion abandoned the idea. Former allies returned. Even Sparta's enemies admitted what they had witnessed. No army matched Spartan discipline in open battle. The victory also transformed King Agis II. Before Mantinea, many questioned his leadership. After Mantinea, he had proven himself worthy of commanding Sparta. The Battle of Mantinea became one of the largest hoplite battles ever fought in ancient Greece. It demonstrated that numbers alone could not guarantee victory. Training, discipline, leadership, and unity could overcome even the strongest alliance. Historians still study the battle more than 2,000 years later. Military commanders continue to analyze Spartan tactics. The battle showed how quickly hesitation could turn victory into defeat. One delayed decision, one missed opportunity, changed the fate of Greece. Had Sparta fallen at Mantinea, the history of the Peloponnesian War might have unfolded very differently. Athens may have recovered. Argos might have replaced Sparta as the dominant power in southern Greece. The balance of the ancient Greek world could have shifted forever. But history chose another path. On the plains of Mantinea, Sparta reminded the world why its warriors had become legends. Not because they were stronger than every enemy, not because they were more numerous, but because they trusted the man beside them, held the line when others broke, and remained disciplined when chaos consumed the battlefield. That single day in 418 BC ensured that the Spartan legend would endure for generations. It was more than a victory. It was the battle that saved Sparta.